Welcome back to the Stumped Podcast Season 2. I'm one of your hosts, Spencer.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Logan.
Logan, our faithful guest.
Yes.
No lag. No lag.
Season 2. Another round to go. I'm still mourning the loss, and I need to start off by saying,
no.
Here we go.
I need to start off this season
This
with
mic's
a
getting
public
heavy.
with a public apology. Okay, I need to apologize to all my friends, to all my haters, to my family,
Don't forget the
to my
disc
now
golf
wife,
community.
the disc golf, the chess community. I embarrassed you all.
Your
I'm
wife took on your last name after that loss. That's tough.
barely. She threatened not to, but
Okay, but let's actually give a little quick life update here.
Yeah.
Spencer got married.
I got married.
Wow.
So at the time of recording this podcast, we are 11 weeks deep. So
Incredible.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. So
Amazing.
both of them were at the wedding, and they love to make fun of the poorly cut pie.
And
Yo, that pie was so bad.
let's also not forget who broke a glass trying to take the cups.
Matthew Ward. But yeah, so life update. Matt just went on a major road trip too.
Yeah, man, like 4 or 5 months on the road, living out of the car, hanging out with friends and family, doing national parks, all that good stuff. Gas prices were insane.
Oh
And
man.
well, these two have been getting married and traveling the country. I've been studying for season 2, deeply, intently locked into every story I could find in the internet. Nothing's getting by me.
Speaking of season 2, we got some exciting things. We're changing up the
Dude,
format this season.
changing it up.
Yes.
Keeping it fresh. So, who wants to tell us what we're doing? Give us a little insight.
All right, so season 2, we got a couple things coming your guys' way. The biggest change you'll notice, guests. So we have some fans of the podcast, some friends and family of ourselves that are going to join us in future episodes. It's going to be a similar scoring format, but if you fool a guest, you get a point. If the guest guesses your lie, you lose a point. So you're going to see some big swings off of that. Pretty excited about the lineup of guests we have, too. It's going to be exciting.
Not gonna lie, I totally forgot about how the guests are gonna impact the points.
Good thing Logan introduced that. But
And if
Because
you'll
like
notice,
that's massive, especially if we're gonna have a loser has to do something
that's-
punishment.
Yeah, Matt, you want to explain that? That's another.
So we're exploring the idea. We're gonna have a few of them together, and basically spin a wheel, and there's a bunch of hilarious ideas on the docket. So we'll see.
Punishment
we'll
for the
see what
loser.
happens. There'll be a punishment for the
Yeah.
loser. I'm sure we'll record it. The other two will show up.
Yep.
It'll be a great time, but it is going to be embarrassing.
Yeah.
you'll notice no guests this week, so Matt doesn't start out in the negatives.
And speaking of recording, we officially got a setup going.
We do.
Everyone, we're recording this season, so
We are in person. We are live
Yes.
video and audio.
Yeah.
So
Dedication. Only
follow
have
our
to drive
YouTube channel.
3.5 hours.
I know, right? It's a
But-
weekly trip.
No, we got to have a YouTube channel, don't we?
yeah. Now we said it. Now we gotta do it.
Isn't that where you're putting this?
Sure.
anyways.
We haven't thought that far.
So I got a shirt on here that Hannah got me, Logan's wife. Principle matters sometimes, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction for this year. This shirt is true. I'm going wild card. I gotta do principle, but sometimes I won't do it. Matt's got Matt's pity party because last season was horrible.
The worst
Poor
part
guy.
is the pity party still hasn't had a party yet, which is fitting.
And Logan's got a
And-
stupid winter shirt on.
Logan's shirt says what, Spencer? What
It
was
says winner. Well
Win-
done. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Here, is this the button? There you go.
Dang. Also,
But-
our sound effects are going to be so on point this year.
Amen.
Doubt it.
But anyways, so hey, I want to kick it off. I want to give a little theme. Let's roll with this. My theme is Idaho. And here's why. My brother and I took a nice long road trip this summer. Right before I got married, me and him in a car, 9,000 miles. Awesome. Hit every western state pretty much, except Idaho.
Why didn't you go to Idaho?
We had an excursion
gorgeous.
planned there. There was snow covering the bike trail we were going on. And so we just skipped the state. We looked back and we're like, we're so stupid. So I've been thinking about Idaho a lot. And so for this season, or for this episode, I mean, my theme is Idaho.
That's a beautiful state.
Never
It
been.
really is.
Yep.
All right.
What do you
Well,
got?
Falls. You got a bunch of stuff over there.
Yeah.
Got some mountains.
So I'm going to be doing
Potatoes.
a little bit more themed this season. First theme we got here, so easy a monkey could do it.
I'm gonna lose this one so hard.
Matt, do you have a theme?
What do you got for us?
Or do you
Matt?
have
I
sneak
do
peeks?
have a theme.
Okay.
The theme is last minute preparation. No. The theme is Mona Lisa.
Okay. Can I just
painting?
say?
No, the person actually.
Ooh. I just want to say I started the theme action.
You did. You
Okay.
did.
Yep.
Notice
you also
everyone
started
jumping
the
on the-
principal and you
I-
stopped the principal. So let's
And
not
I'm
get
just-
too high and mighty on what we started and what we didn't
That's
start.
true. That's true. Whatever. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? I feel like the winner.
I think the winner should
Has
kick
to
us
go
off.
first.
All right.
Now that we can
off.
see him in person, we can stare him down.
Yeah. Starts off. Logan.
Challenge accepted. All right. I got 3 stories for you guys today.
No
I'm going to
doubt.
let you pick which one you want first. A monkey named
I
Raven.
started that.
Yeah.
You did.
You did.
A monkey named Raven. Curious Jack handles the railways. Or Barney, the lumber monkey.
I want to hear Barney.
I wanna hear Barney,
I want to hear
too.
Barney.
Okay. So, the start of the 1900s, Portland, Oregon, not Idaho, sorry. I
Close
missed the
enough.
memo.
Close enough.
Portland, Oregon was a town on the rise. Center of that rise was the booming lumber industry. Oregon had recently become the #1 exporter of lumber in America, and by the year 1913, that charge was led by the Portland Lumber Company, by far the largest producer of lumber in the U.S. at the time. As the city grew, so did the cultural events that it brought in. One such event was a traveling circus. As the circus was leaving town, their caravan of animals got in an accident, and several escaped, including a 7-year-old chimpanzee. He disappeared into the deep Pacific Northwest woods and was presumed gone forever. A few weeks later, said chimp stumbled upon a logging campsite for the Portland Lumber Company. Being familiarized with people from the time of the circus and presumably very hungry, the chimp quickly became a favorite of the lumberjacks and was very friendly with them. They fed him, and he stayed around with the lumberjacks, and they soon discovered he was a very intelligent monkey. They named him Barney and discovered that he could do small jobs around the campsite. Soon he began following them, logging each day, and they let him work the 2-man saws that were used to cut down trees. He saw the pushing and pulling of the long saw as a game, and one he did not wear out from. Now, for those that don't know, typical squadron of long saws, 3 people, right? One rotates. What?
My logs.
I know. This was stuff.
101 in college did not teach me a lot.
Stuff I was learning too. I didn't never been on a long saw. You got 3 people. They rotate each side, right? So to keep fresh throughout the long days. The chimp, however, could do this for hours without needing a break. So because of this, it only
Labor
required.
law rules, man.
I
Come on.
know, but they don't have those for monkeys.
The
So it only
union.
required 2 additional people to make up a full squadron, working less than a typical squadron would require, man hours. And because of this, the men that were with Barney were fresher, and soon Barney's squadron was producing double what a typical 3-man squadron would. The legend of the lumberjack chimp quickly spread back to the Portland Lumber Company, and they began using him for publicity to help boost morale and bring in new lumberjacks. They kept Barney around for 3 more years before he retired. They fed him well, provided him a safe place to stay at their camps in the harsh Oregon winters, and thus the legend of Barney the Lumber Monkey was born. And even to this day, he actually has an exhibit at the National Lumberjack Museum that was created in his honor as the only known monkey lumber monkey.
I feel
There
like you just
is-
read that off like the New York Times or something like that. Like
There's
that was
no
so
way.
long.
There's no way that's true.
Story
there's
number
no
2.
way.
Please tell me more about
Yeah.
your experience in lumber in Portland.
Let me tell you,
in the 1800s?
there's 1913.
1913.
1913.
There's no way. I'm so confident I want to lock that in now.
An early lock-in.
There's no way
You
that
also
happened.
started that.
It gets,
Yeah.
it gets better.
Oh, no.
Go. Let me.
What do you want? A monkey named Raven or Curious Jack handles the railways?
The railways.
I would agree. Railroads.
All right. This one gets a little confusing, so hang on.
Here we go.
So,
It's just confusing.
James Jumper Wide. All right, Jumper is what we'll refer to him as. He's a man. This is what we need to get straight.
'Kay.
Jumper and Jack. Jumper's the man.
Jack's
is
the
not.
monkey.
Yes. So Jumper Wide worked in Cape Town Port Authority Railway Service. He developed a habit for leaping from one railway car to the other, hence the nickname, even when the trains were moving. One day in 1877, he mistimed his jump a little bit and fell under a moving train. He survived, but the train severed both of his legs at the knee. Devastated, but not disheartened, Jumper made himself 2 new legs out of wooden pegs and took a job at the Untikag station. I can't pronounce that. Sorry, South African listeners. He even constructed a wooden trolley to help him get around, but despite the additions, he was having trouble. This is where we meet Jack. Jumper met Jack at a local market. leading an ox wagon. He was impressed with his intelligence and decided he would hire him as his new assistant. Jack learned how to push Jumper in his wagon, switch train signals, and even hand conductors their keys. He quickly became a valuable asset to Jumper's work. The only problem was Jack was a baboon. Baboons can't legally be hired to work railways. Jumper taught Jack how to use the train signals by holding up one or two fingers and then he would pull the corresponding levers. Jack also picked up on things through watching Jumper, such as delivering the keys, so when a train would pull into the station, it would set off 4 blasts from its whistle to signal the conductor that they need the keys. As soon as he would hear the whistles, Jumper would grab the keys, hobble over to the conductor. Jack picked up on this. So after a few days of completing the task on his own, he would operate the railway signals on his own under the supervision of Jumper. So Jack's now the one operating the railways. He became something of a local celebrity, and people would come from all over Cape Town to watch the baboon operate the tracks. However, the idea of a baboon running the trains was worrisome to a few people, and one concerned citizen alerted train authorities. While many people at the management office knew Jumper hired an assistant, the fact that it was a monkey slipped through the cracks. A railway manager was dispatched to fire Jack and Jumper. When he arrived, Jumper pleaded for their jobs, offered to test Jack the baboon's skills. Thinking there's no way a baboon could be as competent as was being claimed, the manager acquiesced. He instructed an engineer to sound a train whistle and watched in shock as Jack made the correct signal changes. Apparently, Jack never looked away or got distracted from the train, ensuing his work was correct. The railroad manager was impressed and let Jumper have their jobs. He even made Jack an official employee, paying him 20 cents a day and a half a bottle of beer at the end of each week. For the next 9 years, Jack worked the railway and never made a single mistake. After 9 years, Jack contracted tuberculosis, passed away, but never... That was a monkey. Poor monkey. But never made a single mistake working the job.
That's not real either. I'm not convinced either one. I'm not convinced either one of these are real. I'm not.
Can't with this already.
I'm not.
Spencer.
There's no way. There's no way.
All right. Are you ready for the third one?
Yes.
Let's bring
A
it
monkey
on.
named Raven. This story comes to us from the wild year of 1999. In that year, a 6-year-old chimpanzee named Raven became the 22nd most successful money manager on Wall Street, outperforming over 6,000 professional brokers. Raven yielded an unprecedented 213% gain that year, which is not quite as much as Nancy Pelosi gets on a given year, but it's not that far off. All right. Raven was so successful they created an entire index called the Monkey Dex that mirrored the primate's portfolio holdings. Now, you may be asking yourself, how does a monkey do so well? How does a monkey outperform 6,000 professional brokers on Wall Street? As it turns out, Raven selected the stock simply by throwing darts at a dartboard containing 133 internet companies. Because 1999 was the start of the tech boom, there was literally no way to lose. There wasn't any secret to Raven's success, just dumb luck. Nothing lasts forever, though. When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, Raven actually did way worse than the average investor, thus ending the run of one of Wall Street's greatest underdogs under monkey stories.
Poor
Raven,
monkey.
the investor.
Poor monkey.
Those are my 3 stories.
Wow. What do you got?
Discuss.
What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
I forgot how hard this was.
We actually get to discuss in front of.
Yeah. I would say I literally cannot wrap my mind around a monkey doing any of those things. I don't think it's possible. I think these are 3 lies.
2 of these are true.
There's no way. But I will say the railway story, if you made it up, or if that's just like a folklore, that's a great story. I want to believe that's true, just because that is hilarious. But I think it might be a lie now based on what you're looking at. But
We're gonna see his reaction.
and
I am
out of
in your
principle,
mind.
out of principle,
Oh, I thought we were
No.
abandoning that.
I gotta say that Jumper and Jack were friends. Therefore, it has to be true.
Oh, okay. Because
But-
Spencer or Logan would only make up enemies as a
Exactly.
false story. That's right. Yeah.
I will say there is. I mean, if a monkey threw at a dartboard and was choosing stocks, I'd be amazed. Amazed. Even before the .com bubble was like, even when the stock was rising or whatever, there's no way. 133? No. I'm locking in that, even though I think the lumberjack story is false too, I am locking in 100% that the stock trading is false. Raven is not true. Raven's a lie. He sits on the throne of lies.
Alrighty. So, I'm glad you went first. Because I'm like 99% confident that the monkey picking stocks is actually a very true story.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm like 99% confident. Now I could just be making an absolute fool of myself. I'm like 99% confident
You've heard that one
is
before?
true. Yep, I think I've heard something similar to
Why
it.
didn't you say that before?
Because I'm here to win, son.
That means we could have gotten it in.
Whoa. I'm not the enemy.
I have no clue what the other two are.
I hope the stock one is false just because you said 99%. Just because you said that.
Oh man, the question is which one is less likely for a chimp to do?
Baboon. There was a baboon and a chimp.
Okay, they're in the same family.
Same genome or what
I'm gonna go. The train is false, and I'm gonna lock it in.
Okay.
All right.
I think he got 2 points. Look at his smile. He got 2 points.
I smile no matter what. I told you this coming
No,
in.
we're
You're
gonna
not
lock
going to
it
read
in.
me because I'm going to smile no matter what you say.
I think he got 2 points.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Did you get 2 points?
First things first.
He did. He did. Well
First
done.
things first.
Well done.
Raven's true. There was a monkey
That's unreal.
named Raven that outperformed 6 Allison professional
That
brokers.
is unreal.
Basically by pure luck.
Basically, by just throwing darts.
Yeah.
I've
That's a
heard
true
about
story.
that.
That blows my mind. Blows my
Wild.
mind.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got 2 points.
Yeah.
Barney was a lie. The lumber monkey made that one up.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. That's so funny because literally when I said I'm going to lock that one in, I was like joking around, but your heart must have sunk.
I certainly tried to keep a straight face because I'm like, crap, is it that easy to tell? Like,
No, that was well done. I
But-
mean,
the story
No.
of Jack handling the railways in 1877, that blew my mind when I read that story.
Dang, that's
I was
real.
like,
I
for
knew
a
that
monkey
one-
to work 9 years and never make a mistake,
yeah.
unbelievable. I wouldn't trust a monkey to work a train that I'm
No.
on. Like, I
No.
see a monkey operating my railway. No, I'm done. I'm out.
That's
You're
unreal.
starting off with 2 points.
I'm
Well
sorry,
done,
2
dude.
points. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
well
man,
done.
well
hit
done.
that applause button.
I'll
Which
get
one
I'll
was
get
that?
you. I'll get
Oh,
you.
appreciate it.
That
Thank you.
was solid. That's got to feel good.
That feels great,
That feels
actually.
It's a great
Pick
start.
it up. I want to go next
Yep, go ahead.
I want to go next
Go.
because now I feel like I got to like.
Redeem yourself.
Guess who's not taking the SAT, boys?
Oh, now you might just screwed yourself.
I know. I spoke too soon.
Okay, here's
At
the
least
options.
I got the one that was, right. So
We
small
have-
wins.
We have the Postal Service. We
Detailed.
have Nature Calls. Or we have. Sorry.
This is the lie.
This might be the truth.
Poison animals.
Would you mean venomous animals?
Poisoned
Oh, okay.
animals.
Poison. Oh, sounds sad.
That does sound sad. Let's
What was-
start with that. That way we don't have to end on a sad note.
That's good. Good idea.
Okay.
All right.
I was gonna end on a sad note, but
Summer of 2015, an Idaho farmer, Steve Trotter, experienced a major loss. 78 of his animals were found dead over the course of 3 nights. He wasn't the only one. 3 other local farmers had experienced the same misfortune. A total of 216 farm animals were found dead. However, they were... Sorry.
Logan is staring
This is horrible.
soul right now.
Sorry.
Drinking the false mug and staring into your soul. You
However-
almost spilled the cup.
They were...
Oh, it's drinking.
However, they were all killed in the same way. Poison. Steve and his fellow farmers filed a police report, which led to a 3-month investigation, which eventually led them to the culprit, who was found out to be James and Charlie Dobson, 2 brothers who, over the course of a week, injected 300 animals with a poison that they made for their basement. During the trial, the brothers pled guilty, stating, we wanted to see if we could actually make a poison. They were charged with an 18-month jail sentence and were required to compensate the farmers for their loss. As a result, Idaho has changed their law to a 5-year sentence plus a fine for reckless destruction of farm property.
That's wild.
So wild.
Why? If I was Spencer here, that would be automatic. Has to be false because of
That's
principle.
Principle matters.
What was the motive? Just they wanted to see
And
it.
I
Just wanted to see.
we wanted to see if we could actually make a poison.
Yes.
That's so
you
sad.
clearly can. That's what the internet's for. Okay. All right.
That's
What's
so sad.
Hit me with your next story. This is-
it. Pick us up a little bit.
I'm sorry. It gets a lot better. The quote just kills me. Okay. You want Nature Calls, or do you want Postal Service.
You pick, Matt.
I
I'm
want
still trying to
nature
comprehend this.
calls since it's
Nature
on
calls.
theme of dying animals.
Okay. Nature calls. When a mountain bike rider was riding through the foothills of Boise, Idaho, he had to use the bathroom, but the problem was there wasn't one nearby. So his solution was to go down to the ravine and take care of business there. Well, the consequences ended up being a little dramatic. According to the Idaho Bureau of Land Management spokesperson, Carrie Bilbao, she told CBS News that the cyclist responsible for the fire that burned 73 acres of bush and grass in the foothills when he set his toilet paper on fire and tried to dispose of it. A spark got away, and he tried to thump it out, but it was too late. The cyclist later told them that he learned that trick from his grandfather.
This is the part of the show where I say, I think I heard a story like that, but then it's going to be your lie, so I'm not going to say that.
I'm 1 for 1 so far this
Yeah.
season.
I mean, here's what I'm thinking.
Word.
How do you let a spark get away on toilet paper? Like, it's a small, just stamp it out. I don't know. Tell me your next story.
That's the cyclist.
I forgot how hard this was.
What's the post office?
Okay, post office, 1913 is when the post office began, especially for rural Americans, and the growth was phenomenal, right? During the first 6 months, approximately 300 parcels were mailed. And as time went on, the weight limit obviously increased. Well, one of the weirdest packages ever mailed was from Grainsville to Lewiston, it's in Idaho, a little over an hour drive right now from our car. And so on February 19th, 1914, the 48.5-pound package was just shy of the recently instated 50-pound limit. But strangely enough, the package had also a name. May Pierstroff, who was a 6-year-old girl. May's parents wanted to send her daughter to visit their grandparents in Lewiston, but were hesitant to pay the train fare. Since there was no provisions in the partial postal regulations, they decided to mail their daughter with a 53-cent stamp that was attached to May's coat. And she traveled the entire distance in the train's mail car and was delivered to her grandparents' home by the mail clerk on duty. Of course, obviously, as a result, regulations against mailing people were added into the fine print.
This I actually believe, because
I
if
wish
there's
I
a
could
way,
travel that cheaply.
if there's a way to like scam the system and save money, people will do it. Like every sign has a story behind it, and there's a sign that says you cannot mail children. So there's a story, and this may be it. If this is your false one, you'll probably fool me, because I do think someone would try that, and that's just crazy enough to be true.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, Matt?
Not really.
All right.
What was the...
I'm locking in the toilet paper one.
Okay.
And call me crazy. It felt the most vague. It was a good story. It's believable that it would happen. And that's why it's false.
That's tough, because that's the one I want to go with.
Well, do we nail him for a 0? or
That's my question. So I'm pretty... Again, I'm going to maybe hurt myself here, but I think I've seen photos of people mailing their children. The question is, did he twist the story any...
to make it for Idaho.
To make it, like, Idaho specific. But I'm pretty confident that, like, that was actually a thing. Like, when the Postal Service became... He's got this big old smile on his face.
You're right. I can't help but smile no matter what.
I'm telling you, the mailing is the one that I'm most confident is true. And if you fool me on that...
Like, if he fools me in the third one, well done. But, man, he was just dying laughing the whole time reading the quote. I'm just like... Maybe it's because he made the quote up himself. Was like sitting on the toilet. He's just like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
Just to see if I could.
Exactly. And if that's the case, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. I don't know if Spencer's mind's twisted enough to kill off 300 animals because he can. Like,
and laugh about it the whole time.
There's a special kind of person for that, and I'm not sure it's Spencer.
So, my only problem is like the mountain biking. Did it say like he was doing distance riding or just like riding his bike, mountain biking in the woods?
To the foothills of Boise.
See, that's my problem. Like when I go mountain biking, I don't bring toilet paper. I don't bring a lighter. unless you're like
But if you
camping with it, like you have a big backpack with you and you're riding, but like I don't think they call that mountain biking.
Have you ever got the runner's trotz though? Or like you do exercise?
Yeah, but you don't like
it hits
you
like
just,
that.
Yeah, it hits like that, but you just kind of go behind a tree and pray for no poison ivy.
Fine,
we're gonna lock in. We're gonna lock in the biker,
right.
setting the whole thing ablaze, and that's my final answer.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
Well, unfortunately, you guys were both So the postal service, 1,000% correct.
yeah,
1,000% correct. So that one is
I
a million
knew it.
percent set. I read that. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you married your kid? But I guess, 1914, it is what it is. So the nature calls right. The toilet paper lighting the thing on fire, 1,000,000% true.
really.
Dead
Stop.
serious. Dead serious. So
You killed 300 cows off.
You just made that up.
wait. Why I was laughing so hard is exactly what you said. What happened?
I hope it caught all of that. I'm gonna be so pissed if it didn't.
Oh, we'd have to reenact it.
Just
Anyway,
Yeah, we'll be
so
fine.
we disconnected there a little bit, but as I was saying, yeah, the nature calls one, 100% true. So a biker, I actually looked at another source to double check to make sure that was true.
That's
He was
insane.
biking, and apparently his grandfather taught him to light the toilet paper on fire so he's not littering. But I think you're literally supposed to like pack it out.
Supposed
But
to pack it out and you're supposed to
lit-
bury your ish.
lit 73 acres on fire.
Oh my
He-
gosh.
Now the cow story. Steve Trotter is actually a real person.
Okay.
He survived a barrel fall in Niagara Falls. So I was actually, when I was making up a story, I don't know why I picked his name. I picked his name. Steve Trotter survived a barrel fall. Don't know anything about the guy.
That's insane.
Just got his name off of
that's a story in
Google.
itself.
and you just wished cow murder on him.
No.
Yeah, what the
Here's what I literally thought. I don't know how I wrote. I just started typing.
That's
and
amazing.
I was laughing so hard because I literally, when I was on my desk writing this, I just thought if we wanted to see if we could actually make a poison, and I thought that was a great quote. I couldn't
That was
help.
beautiful.
I couldn't help but laugh during that. So I wrote that 100% false.
I can't believe I called that out in the beginning.
I know. The only thing.
Props. Is this?
That's the one
That's
right
the
there.
part.
Yeah.
Hold it down, hold it down,
I
come
told
on.
you that earlier. There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
So the only thing true about that is Steve Trotter's an actual human being. So
Oh
don't-
my gosh. So
don't know
Spencer,
anything about him, but
Well done.
And we're tied.
And
you got
back
2
to 2-2.
points to
Okay.
start off.
That's
and
pity party. Here
I've
we
got
go.
one, right? I've got one.
You
You
got-
know?
No.
I guessed your truth.
No, you didn't. He got double stumped.
I got double stumped. You said
He double stumped.
that
You said the train conductor was false.
was false.
Yes, you did, Matt.
Oh, frick,
You
I did.
We have it on
Damn.
recording.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
It's 2-2-0. Okay, pity party. Here
my
we go.
gosh.
Here we
I thought I had
go.
a point this whole time.
Okay, Matt.
The
You're
pity
up.
party.
You're up.
I don't even want to play anymore. This sucks.
Yeah. Oh.
These are really bad.
Let's hear it, Matt. Let's hear it.
Alrighty, you got 3 options, all Mona Lisa related.
Okay.
One of them is Napoleon and Mona Lisa. The other one is the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Wow, that's famous. The other one is, what's your address? Yeah, stop freaking shaking your mic, bro.
I wanted to set it down.
I'm really concerned. You guys are like closed. Your laptops are closed. Mics are not in your hand. Facing me, and I'm the only one on the side.
It's just the thrill.
I
of
don't
going
like the
last.
setup right now.
I want Mona Lisa Napoleon.
Yeah.
And Napoleon? Okay. All right. So, the Louvre, built in 1793. And honestly, I didn't realize how old that thing was. The Louvre, Paris, in case.
Almost
you
as
know.
old as the United States.
Honestly, like I was like, that is really old. But this is where the Mona Lisa found its resting place in 1804 after Napoleon had it in his palace for 4 years. Now, why Napoleon had this in his palace? It wasn't a super famous painting back then. I don't know why he had it. He was short. He liked the painting. Well, it was roughly a 1-mile journey from Napoleon's palace to the Louvre. The moving men were attacked by activists that were still upset about the French Revolution. So, I could not find out why he had it because it wasn't a very popular painting back then. So, but it's Napoleon. The activists weren't 100% sure who was going to be in the moving crew, so they decided we're going to attack There were other paintings on board also, but we're focusing on the Mona Lisa. Those activists did not make it. 12 were shot, dead on sight. And the Mona Lisa made it to the Louvre safely. And that is the Mona Lisa and Napoleon.
I feel like principle that has to be false.
So
People can't die, but then I did kill 216 animals.
I don't want to hear.
Yeah, hold on, no.
I don't want to hear anything about principle from Mr. Poisoning everything under the sun over there.
Everything.
Basically,
So-
what you're saying is this is just a very badly botched heist.
Yeah, they were still upset about the French Revolution, which, if I'm not, my dates may be wrong on this, but like took place 10, 20 years before that.
I don't know. I got a story from it somewhere later this year.
Yeah, it took place slightly before that. So they were still a little pissed off, and they figured this would be a great time to rob some art before it went to the Louvre. And they didn't really realize Napoleon was going to be on there.
Is the Mona
And the
Lisa a
short-
French painting?
So the Mona Lisa is actually an Italian painting because Leonardo was from Italy.
That's you.
Now, it is in
What
Paris.
did the French want with it?
To look at
Protest?
it? I don't know. Again, I don't know why Napoleon actually had it in his palace to begin with.
Okay.
So it's just the
He had
creepy
Napoleon
lace.
syndrome.
Yeah,
There
he
it
has
is.
Napoleon syndrome. There it is. All right. So I read you guys the different titles that I don't even have on here. So what do you guys want next?
I don't remember the other two. Do you?
Yeah, Napoleon stuck out.
Okay, we'll go with the short one.
Good. I like it.
Okay. This is more of a fact, so. Or is it? The painting first arrived in the Louvre, okay, in 18. Oh, my dates are wrong. Oh, shoot.
We know what? It's a lie.
One
Yeah,
of these two is
my
wrong.
dates are wrong. Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, read it.
Well,
I literally wrote one of I wrote this all today.
one of these two is wrong.
Yeah. All right. So basically, the Mona Lisa can receive letters and flowers from admirers as it has its own mailbox at the Louvre.
Okay.
That's
That is-
it.
Yeah.
Now-
read your third true story.
wait.
I want to hear
I-
the third true.
No. I have something to say here. I admire fine art. Why would you write a letter to artwork?
Dude, there's someone out there that does that.
The art's not reading it.
No, but that's like some like a fetish or something, or they have an
Some
attraction.
dudes are-
It's out there.
I know. And it makes me sad, but I know you're right.
There's no way. And like, yeah, I mean, people can grow attached to like physical things. So I that would not shock me in that one bit.
Weird. If you're one of those people, stop it. Go ahead.
But to have your own,
if you're writing-
mailbox.
All right. The last one is wow. That's famous.
This is true.
August 21st, 1911. The Louvre.
Is this when
Paris.
it arrived? Sorry.
I just can't wait for you guys to actually
Okay.
guess because
Go, read this nice
my
one.
dates weren't wrong. 3 men are back to. I'm just so pissed.
You're so red right now, too.
I know.
Just read the story.
3 men that are about to embark on a ride that will change one painting forever. On that morning, with the Louvre still closed, they slipped out of the closet and lifted the 200 pounds of paintings, frame, and glass off the wall. Stripped the painting from its frame and case. The wooden canvas was then covered with a blanket and hustled off to the train station, where the trio boarded a 7:47 a.m. express train out of the city. They had stolen the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, not a very famous painting at this time, took up to 28 hours for anyone to notice that it was missing. It was noticed by a still life artist who was setting up and was basically like, yo, the Mona Lisa's gone. When is it going to come back? Now, at this time, it had been, they were doing photo shoots of all the paintings to preserve them, or to preserve the photo. I don't really know what they're doing. The photographer had it. The security went over to the photographer. I was like, yo, when's the Louvre coming back? I got someone waiting to do a still life painting of it. And the guy's like, I ain't got it. And they're like, wow, it's gone. The painting would remain missing for 28 months. The thieves, with a clean getaway, would claim that they were heroes as they were simply returning it to Italy, its birthplace. One of the thieves was caught trying to sell it around that time. I'm not saying dates anymore. I'm pretty pissed. One of the thieves was caught attempting to sell it and was placed in jail for only 8 months. And that is the story of how the Mona Lisa became a famous painting.
I believe this.
Well, we know. We know why he knew it was an Italian painting.
Yes.
Yeah, just
Yes.
no.
Also
Here's the catch: if that one is false,
he gets 2 points as
he
well.
gets 2 points as well. So
Here's the other catch: you can't make yourself that red,
if that, I mean, he might.
but you might.
So okay, so I think that one's true, like only because the dates screw up. Because this one, you were talking about 1911 in the third story. The other two were when they arrived.
So
And
which
so-
of the first two is false?
Do you know it? Do you know it?
No, I don't know it.
So
You
it's
go
either a hostile situation,
yeah,
or the
the mailbox.
I just think I would not be surprised if there's a mailbox.
Me either. No, I was thinking it's the hostile one, especially since in 1911 it's not that well known. Why are they trying to steal it and Napoleon has it? I know he said he doesn't know, and Napoleon was a weird dude, and that might be true, but I have to think that one's the lie.
I just can't see that. There's got to be a box for it.
If there is, I say by default the loser of this episode has to write a letter to it.
I would agree.
Yo.
Sorry, Matt.
there has to be a box for it.
No, this season, not this episode. It's just one of the small things the loser will be tallying up. Just a Christmas card. Nothing major.
Are we jumping on the same ship here?
I don't know. Are we going to risk that?
I'm a risky dude. How funny would it be if it was 3-3-0?
I'll do it. Lock me in.
Which
For
one's
the
locked in
Napoleon?
Napoleon.
Napoleon?
Lock me in.
I gotta be a man of my word, and I'll lock in Napoleon too.
Okay.
So tell
got
us
2
the
points.
last one. Tell us what the last one was.
The last one as in how it became famous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one is true.
Yeah.
The-
100%, obviously.
The stolen one?
The stolen. Yeah, well, I was stolen. That's
Yeah.
actually how it became famous because it was all over the news, and that's basically how the painting became famous.
Incredible.
The
That's
wild
not-
thing is I actually didn't get my dates wrong, and it was taken to the Louvre in 1804 by Napoleon, and then borrowed by England until 1815.
Like they borrow everything in the English museums.
But there was no
Everything.
there was no hostile rating, was there?
Oh no, I just made all those dates up right now. There's no hostility.
So we got it?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
it.
you got it. I was pretty confident that for some reason I have to look back at my sources. 'Cause I'm like, why did I put 1815?
So,
But
did
I
you
literally
screw-
wrote that on the couch right over there.
The lie you read on the couch. So you did screw up the dates.
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty confident I did.
The look on your face. I wish we have it on camera. I hope
We do have it on
Oh, I have it on camera.
when you said the Mona Lisa arrived at 18.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing. Like,
you were
so,
18 and your eyes
so,
went, you're like, what? It's just what I say.
That's
What
the weird thing is like both of my sources. The one source says that it came from Napoleon 1804, and this one's saying 1815 is when it went to the Louvre. So now I'm like, whoa, what the heck, man?
But there is a PO box for the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah,
I
there's
couldn't
no-
find it.
There's not. a
Apparently
surprise.
you just mail the Louvre, and then you
Yeah.
like poke the Mona Lisa on it, and it's got its own mailbox.
Yeah.
People
I don't know if people go
nuts.
through it or anything like that, but they send flowers and everything like that to it.
I'm not surprised.
That blows my
we're
mind.
off to a rough start, boys.
So,
3-3. Match spinning
To
party.
recap.
Yeah.
Logan, 3 points. Spencer, 3 points. Wait, which one's the
I don't
booing?
think there's a
Matthew,
booing one.
0 points. That works. That works.
Oh man.
It's one episode. Remember who was in last place last
Logan was
season
in last place last
after an
season.
episode?
Yeah.
I was.
So.
I started out with 1 point the first week and 1 point the second week, and it works out.
Yeah.
I'm
And with
just
guests,
upset.
honestly,
The guess.
it's
the
gonna
guess will
swing
change everything.
hard.
guess
Points
will
are
change
coming
everything.
up and down, and
I might have to leave the themes. I'm so upset.
Well, anyways, thanks for joining. Our first guest is a man named Quinn, right?
Quinn,
Pilot.
a pilot named Quinn,
So-
will be joining us next week on the Stumped Podcast. Thank you for listening. Have a good week.
Toodaloo.
Bye.